and welcome to another episode of Wagstaff Explains. Today's topic, surface area of prisms. Find the total surface area of the prism below. So we have a rectangular prism here, and I first like to kind of identify what each number is going to represent to help me solve. So I'm going to label this as my length, and 4 inches as my width, and 2 inches as my height. So now let's look at our formula. So surface area equals lateral plus the 2 bases. So when I look at my formula, I have a big P and I have a big B. So big P means the perimeter of the base. And when I look at my base is a rectangle. And then this H is the height of my prism. So I like to put a little P there to represent the height of my prism. And when I look at big B is the area of the base. And the shape of my base is a rectangle. So again, big P and big B means a formula within a formula. So I need to replace those. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And then of course that's going to be times the height of the prism. And then for a big B, the area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, so now I'm ready to substitute. So 2 times my length is 3 1/2 plus 2 times my width, and my width is 4, times the height of my prism, which is 2. So you can see how labeling this ahead of time makes it so much easier. Plus 2 times the length, which is 3 1/2, times my width, which is 4. Now, I like to put all of this in my calculator as 1 to minimize computation errors. So let's go to our calculator to see how that looks. So in our calculator, we want to use the parentheses to help us, and we want to start with that whole line. So I'm going to parentheses 2 times my length, which was 3 1/2. So now you could convert 3 1/2 to a decimal, but just to show you that we can do this as fractions or mixed numbers, we're going to do that. So to get to fractions, you want to do alpha y equals, and this was a mixed number, so we want to choose option 2. So it was 3, arrow over to your numerator, 1, down to your denominator, 2, and then arrow over to say that you're done. So then it was plus 2 times 4, which was our width, close parentheses, times the height, which was 2. Now plus the bases, so 2, and I'm going to open my parentheses. My length was 3 1/2, so I want to go back to alpha y equals option 2. So it was 3, arrow over to my numerator, 1, down to my denominator, 2, and then over again to say that I'm done, and then times 4. Close parentheses. And so now once I hit enter, I will have the surface area of my prism, 58. Now let's go back to our question. So the surface area of our prism is 58 inches squared. Now let's take a look at our next question. Find the total surface area of the prism below. So I like to start by labeling the dimensions in our triangular prism. So here we have 10 feet, which is the height of the prism. And here we have 3 sides of the triangle, of which 13 is just a side. And then we have 5 feet and 12 feet. But notice the right angle here. That tells me that this side and this side is the base and height of my triangle. So let's say that 12 feet is the base of my triangle, and then 5 feet is the height of my triangle. So now let's look at the formula. We can see that surface area equals lateral plus the 2 bases. And the lateral is P times H plus the bases, which is 2 times B, big B. And so we have capital P, which means that there's a formula within a formula. So when I look at P, it means the perimeter of the base. And so if we look at our base, the base is actually a triangle. So now let's look at our formula. We have surface area equals the lateral plus the 2 bases. And so for the lateral, it's big P times H plus the 2 bases, 2 times big B. So let's look at big P. Big P stands for the perimeter of the base. And if we look at our base is in the shape of a triangle. And so we will be replacing big P with a formula. And then H is just the height of the prism. And then on the other side, for the bases, we have capital B. Well, big B means the area of the base. And if we look at our base again is a triangle. So we will be replacing big B. So the perimeter of a triangle, notice it has 3 sides. So it is side plus side plus side times the height of the prism, plus the base is a triangle, and the formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height, and that base and height is off the triangle. So now we can substitute with the dimensions of our figure. So the sides of our triangle is 13 plus 5 plus this side of the triangle, which is the same side as this part of the triangle, which is 12, times the height of our prism, which is 10, plus 2 times 1/2 times the base of the triangle, which is 12, times the height of the triangle, and the height of the triangle is 5. And so now we have the algebra that we can use to put in our calculator. Remember that we want to put all of the algebra in our calculator as one, so we can minimize any computation errors. So let's see what this will look like in the calculator. Okay, so in the calculator, we're going to put in that one long algebra. So parentheses, 13 plus 5 plus 12, close parentheses, times the height, 10, plus the 2 bases. So 2, open parentheses, 1/2, so second, y equals, this is a regular fraction, so we can use option 1. So 1, and then arrow down to the denominator, 2, arrow over to say that you're done with your fraction, times the base and height. So 12 times 5. Close parentheses. And now we can hit enter. And now we have the surface area of our prism. Let's go back to our question. Okay, now we're back with our problem. So we can see that the surface area of this prism is 360 feet squared. Thank you for watching an episode of Wagstaff Explains. Now you know how to find surface area of prisms.